Before we get started, this is Data and Dissonance, which means you are about to hear opinion, satire, social commentary, cultural criticism, and a few jokes that may irritate anyone whose entire personality depends on likes, blue checks, hashtags, or arguing with strangers in comment sections. Tonight's episode talks about internet culture, influencers, rage bait, AI-generated content, fake authenticity, corporate marketing, social media addiction, and the modern habit of turning every thought, meal, breakdown, and half-baked opinion into content. Nothing here is personal advice, legal advice, mental health advice, or a guaranteed path to internet fame. Listener discretion is advised.
Somewhere along the way, the internet stopped being a place where people shared their lives and turned into a casino where everybody is pulling the same lever, hoping the algorithm spits out a little attention. You open your phone and it's the same recycled outrage, the same fake shocked face, the same dramatic captions, the same influencer voice, the same "you won't believe what happened next," and then what happened next is usually nothing. It was bait. It was always bait. It just had better lighting. Every platform promised connection, but what we got was performance. Every brand promised authenticity, but what we got was a social media intern pretending a billion-dollar company is your sarcastic best friend. Every influencer promised real life, but somehow real life always comes with perfect lighting, affiliate links, a promo code, and a story about how they were literally shaking because someone disagreed with them in a comment section. And I think people are tired. Not quitting the internet tired because, let's be honest, nobody is throwing their phone into a lake and joining an Amish CrossFit cult tomorrow. But tired. Tired of rage bait, tired of fake outrage, tired of fake vulnerability, tired of AI slop, tired of brands pretending they care, tired of influencers selling authenticity like it came in a monthly subscription box. The internet got loud, fake, polished, angry, desperate, and exhausting. And now real voices are starting to feel rebellious again. Tonight on Data and Dissonance, we're talking about the death of viral culture, or maybe just the beginning of people waking up from it. Because being seen by everybody is not the same as being understood by anybody. Going viral is not the same as building something that matters. And sometimes the loudest thing in the room is just the emptiest thing with better lighting. Welcome back to Data and Dissonance. I'm Artie, and tonight's episode is called Viral is Dead. The internet got loud, people got tired. Let's start with what going viral used to feel like. At one point, it seemed almost accidental. Somebody posted a funny video, a weird moment, a raw opinion, a song, a rant, a story, something that actually connected with people. And the internet passed it around because it felt real. There was still plenty of stupidity because the internet has always had gas station bathroom at 2 a.m. energy. But it felt more human. It felt like something broke through because people responded to it. Not because it had been reverse engineered by 1,000 content coaches using the same captions, the same hooks, and the same fake urgency. Now viral culture feels manufactured. Everybody read the same playbook. Here's what nobody is telling you. I wasn't going to post this. This changed my life. Stop scrolling. You need to hear this. No, Kyle, I really don't. I was looking for a video on how to fix my sink, and now you're yelling at me about masculine energy from inside a leased BMW. That's the problem. The internet became a place where everybody is trying to hack attention instead of earn trust. And once people figured out that anger travels faster than truth, the whole thing started to rot. Rage bait became the business model. Not an accident, not a side effect. The business model. The platforms don't care if you love what you see or hate what you see. They care that you stop scrolling. They care that you comment. They care that your thumb freezes long enough for the machine to say, "Got him." You think you're correcting an idiot? The platform thinks you're creating engagement, and the platform is right. That is why some of the dumbest takes online travel the farthest. Not because they are smart, not because they are true, because they are designed like digital junk food. You know it's garbage, you know it's bad for you, but there you are at midnight scrolling through an argument between two strangers about politics, dating, race, religion, Hollywood, gas stoves, pronouns, country music, or whether some celebrity's breakfast choice means democracy is dead. By the time you snap out of it, your blood pressure is doing burpees and you've wasted 20 minutes arguing with someone whose profile picture is a fish. Then we got fake authenticity, which might be one of the most annoying inventions of the modern internet. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Somebody sitting in their car, camera angled perfectly, lighting somehow better than a Netflix documentary saying, "I wasn't even going to post this," while the captions are polished, the hashtags are ready, and the emotional breakdown has better production value than local news. Now, to be fair, I'm not saying every emotional post is fake. People go through real things, people need connection. But we built a culture where vulnerability became a content category, pain became a marketing funnel, trauma became branding. And once that happens, the audience starts asking, am I watching a person or am I watching an engagement strategy? The audience can feel when something is off. People know when a creator is chasing sympathy. They know when a brand is pretending to care. They know when a politician is pretending to be a regular person for 12 seconds before climbing back into a black SUV. They know when an influencer is pretending to be exhausted by fame while still filming themselves from three different angles. We are surrounded by content that screams, "Look how authentic I am." And the louder it screams, the less authentic it feels. Real doesn't usually announce itself with a ring light and a promo code. And then came the AI slop before anybody starts yelling, I am not anti AI. Obviously, I use AI tools. This show uses AI tools. AI can help with scripts, images, voices, prompts, music ideas, research organization, marketing, all of it. The tool is not the problem. A hammer can build a house or smash a window. The problem is when people use the tool to flood every feed with soulless garbage, fake veterans, fake disaster photos, fake celebrity quotes, fake inspirational stories, fake news, fake nostalgia, fake images of seven-fingered children holding signs that say, today is my birthday and nobody wished me, while 40,000 people comment, Amen, like they just witnessed a miracle from a haunted printer. That's not creativity, that's digital landfill. And it matters because once everything looks kind of real and kind of fake at the same time, trust starts to collapse. People stop knowing what to believe. They stop trusting images. They stop trusting headlines. They stop trusting stories. And when people stop believing anything, the loudest liar wins. That is not just annoying, that is dangerous. Influencer culture shows the sickness clearly. It started with people building audiences around something real: fitness, fashion, cars, comedy, parenting, music, politics, whatever. Some of them were talented. Some still are. But eventually the influencer became the product, not the skill, not the art, not the message, the lifestyle, the illusion, the constant performance that says, look at my life, want my life, envy my life, buy what I use so you can feel closer to my life. Because nobody posts the boring part unless the boring part can be monetized too. Nobody posts the debt behind the vacation. Nobody posts the fight before the couple photo. Nobody posts the 47 failed takes before the spontaneous moment. Nobody posts the emptiness after the views drop. They post the win, the glow, the grind, the hustle, the blessing, the hotel mirror, the airport lounge, and the classic "so many of you asked" when absolutely nobody asked. Regular people see that all day and start wondering why their normal life feels small. But their life isn't small. It just hasn't been edited by someone trying to sell them insecurity. And here's a thought that should not be controversial. Not everything needs to be content. Some moments should just be lived. Some meals should just be eaten. Some sunsets should just be watched. Some arguments should stay offline. Some family moments should not be turned into emotional bait. Some kids should not have their entire childhood turned into a brand strategy before they even understand what privacy means. When everything becomes content, life starts turning into proof. Proof you're happy, proof you're successful, proof you're kind, proof you're oppressed, proof you're winning. But when you live for proof, you stop living for purpose. So maybe viral culture isn't dead because viral videos are going away. They're not. Someone will always chase attention. Someone will always dance in a grocery store aisle while the rest of us are trying to buy eggs without becoming background footage in their personal brand. But maybe what's dying is the belief that viral equals valuable. Millions of views can still mean nothing. A clip can be everywhere for 2 days and disappear so completely it feels like a hallucination. A person can become famous overnight and irrelevant by Thursday. Attention is not loyalty, exposure is not trust, reach is not impact. That's where independent creators actually have an opening. And I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting here with a microphone, a stubborn attitude, and a show called Data and Dissonance. I mean it. The advantage now may not belong to the people who look the most polished. It may belong to the people who sound the most real, the people who aren't pretending everything is perfect, the people who are willing to say, I don't have a corporate studio, I don't have a giant sponsor, I don't have a marketing department. I'm just here doing the work, saying what I believe, and trying to build something honest in a world addicted to fake. That matters because real is becoming rare. And when something becomes rare, it becomes valuable again. People may still scroll past polished nonsense all day, but when they hear something that sounds like a human being instead of a brand strategy, they notice. When they hear someone admit struggle without turning it into a sales pitch, they notice. When they hear someone think out loud instead of chasing the approved take, they notice. That does not always go viral. Most of the time it won't, but it can build something better than viral. It can build trust. So maybe the choice now is simple: chase lightning or build something that lasts. Be famous for a minute or useful for a long time. Create for strangers who click because they're angry, or build for people who come back because they trust you. Spend your life feeding a machine that forgets you instantly, or create something with enough backbone that it still matters after the trend dies, because the spell is breaking. People know when they're being baited. They know when the tears are staged. They know when the outrage is rented. They know when the brand is pretending to be their friend. Maybe the internet needed to get so fake that real started looking radical again.
Before Artie brings this one home, here's your reminder that Data and Dissonance is independent, stubborn, underfunded, over-caffeinated, and still somehow alive, which in today's creator economy basically makes it a miracle with a microphone. There is no corporate studio behind this show, no massive sponsor writing checks, and no media machine making sure every episode gets pushed to the top of the feed. So, if this episode hit home, help the show grow the old-fashioned way. Follow it, share it, leave a review if the platform lets you, and send it to someone who is tired of fake internet culture. Speak truth, stir thought.
Here's what I keep coming back to. The internet was supposed to give regular people a voice, and in some ways it did. It opened doors old media never would have opened. It let musicians release songs without begging a record label. It let writers publish books without waiting for some gatekeeper to decide if their voice was fashionable enough. It let podcasters, comedians, veterans, parents, small business owners, weirdos, thinkers, fighters, and stubborn loudmouths like me get behind a microphone and say, "No, actually, I've got something to say too." That part still matters. That part is still powerful. But somewhere along the way, the tool that gave people a voice also became a machine that trained people to perform instead of speak. And that is the difference. That speaking comes from somewhere real. Performing comes from wanting a reaction. Speaking says, "This matters." Performing says, "Watch me matter." Viral culture told people that being seen was the same thing as being heard. It told them followers were proof of wisdom, views were proof of value, and attention was proof of meaning. But that's not always true. Sometimes the loudest thing in the room is just the emptiest thing with better lighting. So stop letting the machine decide what deserves your emotional energy. Stop rewarding people who make everything worse on purpose. Stop confusing attention with truth and outrage with intelligence. The internet got loud. People got tired, and maybe tired people are finally starting to want something real again. That's not a bad thing. That's a door opening. So keep building, keep speaking, keep creating, keep saying the thing that matters even if it doesn't trend, because not everything important goes viral. Sometimes the most important things grow quietly, slowly, stubbornly, until one day you realize they lasted longer than the noise. This has been Data and Dissonance. I'm Artie. Stay real, stay sharp, and remember to speak truth. Stir thought.
Tonight's episode of Data and Dissonance is brought to you by the creative world of Artie John Roy III. The books, the music, the podcast, and the stubborn, independent spirit behind all of it. Check out Artie's Caleb Rourke thriller series, starting with The Covenant Protocol, a fast-moving political thriller packed with conspiracy, pressure, betrayal, buried secrets, and shadowy power games. And if music is more your lane, stream Artie's songs wherever you listen, including the new faith-driven single, God Don't Quit on Me. Follow Data and Dissonance, subscribe on YouTube, stream the music, check out the books, and share the work with somebody who still believes independent voices matter. Data and Dissonance is not trying to be the loudest voice in the room. It's trying to be one of the real ones.